It's 6:30 a.m. and I am at school. Life is grand. The janitor says I'm dedicated for being here this early, but it's my own fault because I forgot the book I needed. So basically, our school psychologist is observing a student today that I have, and she requires a very thorough lesson plan, so that's why I'm here so early. If I would have remembered to bring my book home, this wouldn't have been a problem. But I realized on Saturday when I was like zonked out on NyQuil that, oh, I should have brought that book home. Oops. So it's 7 o'clock now, and I'm pretty much ready. Basically, all I needed to do was photocopy the 2 pages that we use in the teacher book. Usually I just do it right out of the book, but now that I'm being observed today, I should have a copy not only for myself but for the teacher, and then I'm just marking up like the actual kids I'm doing and then the words that I'm picking. Usually the words that I'm picking and the word of the day, like I always have the word of the day on me, and then the words I'm picking for them to be spelling with their whiteboards or their towel boards or in the unit resources. And so I'll just flip to that page and I'll pick as we're going, but now that I'm getting observed, I should have them picked out beforehand. So that's what I'm doing right now. There's 2 names right there I'm covering. So that's just what we're going to do, and you can see that I've wrote the words that we'll be dictating today on our towel boards and our whiteboards. So the 5th graders are doing a holiday around the world unit, and they were cooking some of the foods, and so a group of girls just came in and gave me a meatball and some lefse. It was very nice to add to my bagel I had for breakfast. So it's Monday, that's when I go eat lunch with the school psychologist, so I'm just popping in to show you my lunch before I head on over there. Peanut butter and jelly, graham cracker, cheese, and pineapple. Today was popcorn chicken and mashed potatoes, and I had chicken nuggets last night at work, so really wasn't in the mood to have popcorn chicken again. I think I had chicken nuggets like 5 times this week. Oops. So I got several compliments on my outfit this morning, which is hilarious because I woke up at 5 a.m. Black Walmart cardigan, gray Walmart dress, crazy tropical leggings. I had boots on, but now I just have socks on because my feet were really hot. So my tier 2 meeting is done. It's 4:15 right now. Normally I would kind of linger around here for 45 minutes longer, just like cleaning up my desk and such, doing paperwork, answering emails, progress reports, IEP, progress monitoring data, yada yada yada. But the roads are really icy right now. It's kind of been like misting all day, and it's finally gotten cold enough that it's now below freezing, and so the roads are like really slick and ice covered, so I want to get out of here before it starts getting dark. So I'm gonna check with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully not at 6:30 a.m. I'm so tired. So it's ordering season, and I've literally had this mound of papers right there on the floor. It's just Lakeshore books and Touch Math books and Sped books and Sensible Ordering and you name it, that is down there. And I get like 1, 2 a day now. And I glance through them on my lunch and stuff. But most of the time, I don't have enough time to be looking through them. I'm really not sick anymore, but my nose is still kind of red. So the majority of the cough is gone, which is nice. This door is so hard to open. You gotta make sure you shut it. Because otherwise the door doesn't shut on its own. And then they call you saying like, oh, hey, you didn't shut this door. Oh, wow, it is really icy. Oof. As our building grounds person for the district would say, walk like a penguin when it's icy. Wow, it is real icy. So, I'm gonna drive home, hopefully not end up in the ditch. I know there is a major road around here that is closed because of accidents, because there's a large hill that people are always crashing on. But hopefully that will not be me, because my beautiful car would not like to be in a ditch. Why don't I live somewhere warm where you don't have to scrape off your car every day? Oh, life is rough. So all of this, it might look like it's rain, but that's all ice. It's gonna be a great commute. This looks like snow, but it's like straight up ice. Fantastic. Tim sat on that big rock. Tap Tim with me. Ayache. What do we need at the beginning of a sentence?
Period.
The beginning? A capital
T.
Yes, a capital T. Tim is a name and it's the beginning of a sentence. Tim with me. Sat. Sat.
S.
Oh, is that an S?
Aqua.
T.
Pita.
Okay, that's how we spell.
He.
Sat is how we spell.
Sat.
Sat. Tim sat on
Aqua.
octopus.
I feel. Tita.
And not Tim sat on that. Tap that with me. Look at that tongue. At that. At sat on that. Big. Let's tap big. Go. Big. Do we need any capital letters in big? Nope. Oh, the little baby letters. Big. Tap big. 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 Big.
Be back to book.
Be back. Ba. Ba. G. Everyone got big? Let me see. Ba. G.
Be back to book.
Be back. Ba.
Be back. Be back.
I.
And
Go.
she game go.
G game go. Tim sat on that big rock. Rock. The k at the end is always.
Period.
At the end is always.
Okay.
Secret. K. With the period. You're good to go. See you tomorrow. You can go too.
I want to tweet.
K.
I want to tweet.
K. CK.
I want to treat.
Time to go.
I want to treat.
Time to go.
Now a treat.
What do you put at the end? Period. Goodbye, my friends. Erase your boards. Put your whiteboards away. Look how much spaghetti I got. My pickle is in my Marion Origins, which is a shame, but I'll survive. My day today was pretty good. No playground fights. I didn't write any quick slips. That's what we write for kids that are exhibiting behaviors or something that need to have an office write-up. So we just write it down real quick, and then a para enters it into the computer, and then that record follows them through their entire school career. We read this book today, A Dragon on the Roof, The Surprising Architecture of Antonio Gaudi, and it was so interesting because a lot of Antonio Gaudi's work is actually in Barcelona, and I visited Barcelona, so I was able to show the kids pictures of Park Güell and the Sagrada de Familia that I've actually visited, which are places that are in this book. So it's kind of cool that they could relate to it, and they couldn't believe that I didn't take my mom on these trips with me. I was like, yeah, that's my friend, and that's my friend. Like, but where's your mom? Like, I didn't go with my mom on these trips. They're so young right now that they just can't believe going someplace without their mom, which I thought was really funny. So my principal and I are going to the gas station that's just right down the road to get pizza and soda before the jump rope contest tonight. Only in a small school do you go get pizza with your principal. So for dinner we are having pepperoni pizza, Sprite, and potato skins, which I haven't had forever, and it's so hard to find these at a grocery store, but you can find them in the gas station. Like, I just want the big bag. And this is like $2.50, which is ridiculous for something this size, but they're so good. If you're curious about this outfit, this very nice sweater, it's actually like one of those slouch knit kind of sweaters. It's kind of got a little scarf to it. I'm wearing with a vest because it's cold in here. But if you're interested, it's actually not from Walmart, it's from Amazon, so I can link it down below if you're interested in buying it. Okay, so it's 4:45 and the jump rope contest is at 6 o'clock. So I have like an hour and 15 minutes before our kids start going here, and I have to go to the gym and watch the contest. So in theory, I should be cleaning and getting things together, but I have like a mountain of emails to answer, and it's just unbelievable. Plus I have some stuff for Google Classroom I have to finish, so I don't know how much stuff I'm going to get done. So the jump rope contest is over now. It's 7:42, and I will be getting out of here as soon as the parking lot clears because I pulled my car right up to the door right here, so there's cars behind me. But I only have to walk like 2 feet to my car, so that's good. The top girl jumper had 46, and the top boy jumper had 52, and they were both 5th graders. But there was a 3rd grader who was pretty good too. And so we send 2 representatives from each gender, so 2 girls and 2 boys from each grade, to the world champion rope jump contest, which is a town pretty close to here. I think it's really a Wisconsin thing. I've never heard of another school having a jump rope contest that you give trophies and stuff out for. But if it is, comment below that it's something that happens in your school too, because I honestly think it's something that's only around here. I'm so tired. I am hopefully going to be out of here by 8 o'clock. I will see you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye. 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 Wish my car was always this close. So is anybody else like me and your entire car ride home is spent like thinking about your day? Because that's how I am. Stop! So that's how I am. So on my way home, I was thinking about a situation I had in my classroom today where I was teaching foundations to 3 students because someone asked me what foundations is. So that's just a little glimpse into what a really early level foundations lesson is. That's like Unit 2, Week 3. You'd probably be teaching this the end of the first month of school or like the beginning of October. So really early on in the general ed curriculum, but I'm teaching it right now to my 1st graders at just a really slow pace, and we're repeating the same lesson over and over just to make sure that we get the key concepts and that we're not forgetting anything. And some of my friends don't have all their sounds memorized, so we're just really working through that and trying to work on our sounds through foundations and reading mastery. But in the middle of this lesson, we're tapping out a sentence. So I have my 3 1st grade friends. I have 2 4th graders in the room. One is working on a math assignment and another is doing System 44, which is something you use with a headset. So they're talking into the headset words and sentences that's being displayed on their computer. And then the 2nd grade teacher pages me, is like, hey, I need you to come get your student. There's like a situation. It's like, okay, you 4th grader, you're in charge. I will be right back. And so I go down the hallway and grab my other student and bring him back. So he's now working on a writing assignment that he was refusing to do in class, a whole situation there, whatever. So now he's sitting at the table next to me, and I have 3 students still trying to do foundations. My math student is asking me questions, and I'm like trying to juggle like a level M text over here, foundations right here, math question over there, and meanwhile there's all this like talking in the background of my student talking into his headset. And let's remember, I have a fairly small room, so just a little glimpse of the little bits of chaos that happen in my life every single day. Today's one of those days where I just feel like incredibly unproductive. But first, let's go through my day. Morning math. I have math for 15 minutes, like right away as the bell rings. So when most kids just get their coats off, they go to class and they sit and like listen to their teachers for like 20 minutes. They're just doing like morning bell work and stuff. I get 3 kids that I do math with while my para is doing reading with a kindergartner. Now, prior to my para, I was trying to do math with 3 kids and reading with his kindergartner at the same time, which was hilarious. So thank God for a para. So 2 of the kids were like arguing with each other. They had some spat on the bus and they were like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. And then one has her folder up like this and she's trying to like hide behind the folder, and the other kid is like peeking over, you know, just being distracting, while the other one is just a golden angel child. So I was like giving her PBIS tickets like crazy, like, oh, great job, nice work, wait, put your name on your paper, while the other 2 are squabbling over there. And then after that I had foundations, which is with 2 2nd graders. In the beginning of the year I had 5 of them, and then 1 moved to a higher leveled group, and then 2 actually moved away very recently, and we haven't gotten back together to create new intervention groups. That's like coming up like 2 weeks. So I assume we'll get more, or I'll change to a different kind of intervention like LLI. But for now we're doing foundations. I have 1 student who's just being great, following all directions, and the other is spelling poopy on his tile board. And so I have this kid all the time, and he's the kind of kid where if you have a timer and you're timing him for all the time he's spending goofing off, so like it was his turn today to be the drill sound leader, so he's supposed to go A apple A, B bat ba, yada 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 for all the sounds and welded sounds that I have marked with an X on the board, and he's instead using his drill sound leader like as a lightsaber, and he's making the noises and such. And so all these little things that he's doing to like take away time from my instruction, I'm like timing him with my timer. And now it makes a beep when it starts and stops. So he's quite aware of this is happening. And he's quite aware that whatever time is on my timer at the end of this class, that he will be spending it inside, either with me making up the lesson I missed, or if I'm busy at lunch, which today I was busy, he does it in the office. And so today he owed me 9 minutes and 37 seconds of time that he was just messing around. Like one time he was stacking the markers on top of each other instead of writing the sentences, and we're talking about digraphs, and he's just totally not paying attention. He's pretending to sleep. So yeah, he owed me 9 minutes and 37 seconds at lunch, but we'll get back to that. After that, I have LLI with 2 third graders and 2 fourth graders, and today the book was on hero dogs. One's a dog that like helps its diabetic owner, another helps her owner when she's choking, and then there's a dog who helps their blind owner when the World Trade Center attack is happening. And my kids had no idea what September 11th was. And I remember being in first grade when the towers fell. So it's just crazy to me that they don't know it. So I had to pull up a video, and one kid didn't think it was real. And I looked up the Wikipedia document for how many people. Yes, Wikipedia is not a real source, but I use it because it's not a paper. Don't judge. So anyways, I pull up the Wikipedia article just to see like how many people died, how many firefighters, yada yada. And there's 2,000 some people that died. And they're like, wow. So that's how that class ended. So I'm sure they spent the rest of the day telling their friends about it. Maybe if we lived in like New York or something where this actually happened, that they would be more aware of it. But here in Little Wisconsin, these kids don't get out much. And if they didn't read it in a book, they're not going to go visit a memorial. Like most of these kids have never been out of this town besides to go to Walmart. So when the fourth graders go to the Capitol in March, most of them, that's the farthest they'll ever get in their entire lives because they're just destined to live in this small town. So after that, we have math. I have math with one special education student who normally we do pull-out math, but we've been recently going into the classroom because they're doing the standard algorithm for addition and subtraction, and he knows that. And so it's just a really good self-esteem booster for him to go in and have math with his classmates. But today they were doing, like when you see 1,900, it's also 1900s. So they were doing some really confusing things. Instead of building 1,900 with 100 grids, they're doing it with only 19 in like tens. Just like really confusing things that would not be good for my students. So we just stayed and did a connecting math concepts lesson instead of that. And then we played war with each other. So, like the card game, only this one is addition and subtraction. So like I would have 6 plus 2, which is 8. And he'd have like 5 minus 3, which is 2. And so I had 8, so I would win. And so I would get the card. Just practicing our addition and our subtraction. He's pretty good with his addition, but his subtraction, he still's got to use his fingers and be counting on them. So just really good practice, and he enjoys the game, but he cheats. So I always have to be watching him because he'll just try to like sneak some cards out, or if he has the wild, he'll sneak the wild out of his deck of cards and he'll try to play the wild. I'm like, I don't think so, buddy. So after that, he then goes to like gym or music or art, and then I have 4 first graders that come in and we do reading mastery, and then we do like a guided reading lesson kind of thing. So between the reading mastery and then the leveled books that we're reading, it's a half-hour period, and then I go out to the hallway and I then do System 44 and extra math with a 5th grader and 2 4th graders, while my students are in here with a regular education para, and they're just working on like handwriting and sight words, and like I think they were playing Sight Word Candyland. Sometimes I make the materials and sometimes she does. It just depends if she's like having a busy time and she has a lot of things that she has to be doing, and she'll ask me to like, hey, what can I do next week? And then I'll make it for her, but usually she does it for herself, which is great. So it's kind of nice that my students are still getting a really good like guided reading rotation with her, and I'm not having to actually make all the materials because that would be a lot of things that I'm making for kids that I'm not actually seeing. And then after that, I'm supposed to go to lunch, but meanwhile, I peek into the office to see if my student who owes recess time is there, and of course he's not. So then I go outside, not wearing a coat, so it's freezing. It's like, I don't know, 15 degrees, so it's cold. I hunt down my student, get him to come inside, but first he like threw himself on the ground and was crying. I was like, gosh, you know this? Like, this is how much time you are at recess. If you wouldn't have been messing around in my class, this wouldn't have been a problem. You can try again tomorrow. It'll be a better day, but you owe me some recess time, so let's go inside where it's warm. So we get inside. He tries to hide in his locker, but we finally get to the office, and then I can go have my lunch, 10 minutes later. So I have like 15 minutes to eat my lunch, which is why you don't see a beautiful video today of my lunch, because I was just busy shoveling food in my mouth. After lunch, I have another student that comes in and we do reading again. So one student was doing One student finished his System 44 lesson for the day, so he was playing Prodigy, which is a really cool math game. He calls it casting spells because Prodigy is just kind of a hard word for him to say. And then my other student and I are working on her math homework for the day. So she receives the math lesson in class, and then after lunch comes in with whatever they were doing in class, and the teacher and I have all this worked out. So whatever workbook time they're doing, it's always after lunch, and so then she comes in and works with me, and then all the other kids in their class are doing it at the same time, so she's not missing anything, which is great. Then we go to Number Corner in first grade, and we're learning all about the calendar and math and such, and that's fun. And then after that we come back in here, and then I do math with my first graders. So we're doing connecting math concepts, and so right now we're just identifying numbers, practicing counting to 15, counting tally marks, simple things like matching the equal signs to equal signs, the plus signs to the plus signs, because they think plus, minus, and equal signs are all like the same thing. So that's something we're working on. And then we do a fun little Go Noodle brain break. Then we do a foundations lesson, which is the one that you saw yesterday where I'm tapping out like b, at, or the fish is hot, which is the sentence we were doing today. The fish is hot, hot, hot. Today we were actually writing in the composition notebook and not on the whiteboard, so that was interesting to see how they react to actually writing it on paper instead of writing on a whiteboard, which thankfully is neater in their notebook than on the whiteboard. Yay me, because it's so easy to grade when it's not written all over the place like, oh, there's the skyline, and you are way up to the worm line in the next one. And then after that, they go back to class, and I have 4 third graders that come in, and we do a Bridges math intervention, which is a fun time. We were doing a spinner game with tallies and cards, and it's fun. It's great. I love Bridges. It's awesome. But it's 5 o'clock now. I've just kind of been slacking. I had a couple kids that I leveled today, and then the regular ed teacher leveled today with Fontes and Pennell. So I was just kind of looking over all the things that we did today and like deciding what their level should be. Some kids are really fluent readers and they don't comprehend, or they're reading very choppy. They're just making up words. Like the word can be like picnic, and they said like picnic, and they just don't self-correct it. They have no idea that picnic is not a thing. And so sometimes it's hard if they really comprehend the text, but they can't read it fluently and they just can't decode it. And so sometimes it's nice to have 2 people to look it over and like kind of make a team decision on where you want your students to be. And so that's the nice thing about my school, I guess, is I work really closely to the regular ed teachers, and it's if they want to change something and they like need to move their schedule around, I like try to accommodate. I try to accommodate it as best as I can. So I think this is a long vlog, so I'm gonna end it here, and then the next video you'll see will be a Thursday, Friday. Yay! So I'm gonna end this vlog right here. Thank you so much for watching this far. If you like this content, like and subscribe if you want to see more of my beautiful content, my beautiful unicorns, and my wonderful classroom. Hit that notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!